What up, Search fam? Sharde here. It's Tuesday. Grab your tea. Let's get started. Hello, my dear ones. I hope that you're doing well, that your week is off to a great start. I am drinking green tea because the weather here in Houston has been quite bananas. Like, it's cold for a couple days, it gets warm, it'll be nice in the morning, warm by the afternoon. It's just a lot. And then on top of that, we're part of Omarion and B2K's Pandemonium tour. So it's really hard to keep yourself healthy. So I'm drinking my green tea and trying to do the best I can. I had a thought probably a couple of weeks ago, and I've been sitting with it. So of course I had to share it with you, because if my mind is going to be blown, I'm not going to be alone. All right. So I have been thinking about what it means to have a safe space and how much that has become integral to my own personal growth, and that frequently we look for safe spaces outside of ourselves. We look for our friends, family, other loved ones, trusted ones, our lovers and things like that, to provide a soft space for us to land and for us to be able to unpack things, to be able to be our most authentic selves. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we should be able to, as social beings, have soft places to land with other people. But I've been thinking about it, especially as I have been dealing and confronting my traumas, especially as I have been attempting to confront some of my traumas and heal through them, because I don't feel like you get past it, but you go through it and it becomes better, and you have more strategies to work on it and work through things that upset you, make you sad, all that. And I had been thinking about, where are my soft places to land? And I am very, very blessed and very thankful to have such a strong support system where I do have a soft place to land with my friends, particularly, and my mother. Although sometimes I do have a challenging relationship with my mother, because we're very much alike. She's a baby boomer, I'm a millennial, so sometimes our sense of perspective clashes. It's normal things that I have also been in therapy over, right? And continue to work through. However, as I had been thinking about these soft spaces to land, to be able to unpack myself, I turned my attention towards myself, and I turned my attention towards my ability to provide a safe space within myself, and to ask whether it is possible and important to first be your own safe space. And, I've come to the conclusion that I think it's one of the most powerful tools in your toolkit is to be able to trust yourself with yourself. And by that, I mean, when things upset you, you are able to provide a safe space to answer the questions, to address the issues that are bothering you with yourself first, and not beat yourself up for feeling a certain way or diminish your own feelings. Because sometimes we be gaslighting ourselves. I know I do. Like, I downplay the fact that I am human and things bother me. And it is a trauma response for me to do that, because I have been in situations where I have been, I don't want to say taught, but I have been impressed upon that my feelings at times have not been valid, and that I am blowing things out of proportion or things like that, or even that I may be feeling something, but I have to get over it. Like, I don't have the space, and it's not right for me to sit with those feelings, that I just have to brush it aside and keep moving and keep doing whatever the thing is, which is very dangerous territory to get into. And these are things that I'm disentangling within myself, if you will. And so it dawned on me that in doing my work of self-improvement, in questioning myself and getting to the point where I immediately begin to ask myself when I'm not feeling okay, when I identify that I am not okay, to at least ask, well, what do you need to be okay? And sometimes we find that as we go through the process of taking better care of ourselves, that it is little things, these little habits that we pick up, that create the foundation for us to provide our own soft place to land. And one of the things that has been big for me is the ability to ask myself, what do you need to be okay? That has been a big one. That has been a big one for me. And not that I've gotten to the point where I can always answer that question for myself, but that I stop and don't try to push myself beyond the negative feelings, but rather the ability to stop and say, okay, well, you recognize that something is not right for you. You can't pinpoint maybe what it is, but at least say, I recognize, I see you. And sometimes it's important to be able to say that to yourself, as I see you having this moment. I see you being bothered by something. We're not sure what it is, but you're not okay. Cool. Well, if we were to get toward okay, maybe we don't even get there, but if we were to move toward being okay, what do you need? And sometimes it's you need to eat. Sometimes it's you need a nap. Sometimes it's you need someone to acknowledge that you're not okay. And sometimes that person to acknowledge you has to be yourself. And I think that's important, and it's so necessary, because I think frequently a lot of us, especially those who are highly sensitive, are prone to putting everybody above ourselves, whether we are highly sensitive or we're codependent or a people pleaser, all of the things, because sometimes it's not deep empathy, sometimes it is codependence, and it's a trauma response. And we have to be mindful and clear that everything isn't because we're an empath, but sometimes we have been molded to be at the mercy of other people's wants and needs above our own. And that's a real thing. And so being able to talk to yourself, I think I feel like it's a good thing to be able to talk to yourself and to ask, well, what do you need? Or to ask yourself follow-up questions. Okay, this thing is bothering you. Why is it bothering you? Is it actually what somebody said? Is it the situation? Is there an underlying issue that you are contending with that has triggered you in this moment? And I think these are the building blocks of providing a safe space for you to exist and to know that you will be taken care of. We are our best advocate. And those of us, especially those of us who have worked with children or underserved communities and know that like we end up being the first line of defense for people or having to like be the ones to respond to others, we know how deeply important it is to have the capacity to do so. And I think in providing that space for yourself, you're also increasing your capacity to do that for others, if that's what you want to do. Because maybe some people don't want to do that, and that's fine too. But all in all, I have learned in this short time that I've realized that I became my own safe space. And it's been because of being in relationships where my needs were not met in various capacities, that I had to be like, okay, well, if you're not going to get it from there, instead of trying to find it outside of yourself, you look for it within yourself. And I deeply believe that we are all that we need. But sometimes it takes a lot of digging, a lot of healing, and a lot of patience to allow ourselves the space to heal through and evolve into more of the us that we are, if that makes sense. And I guess to say that another way is, I believe that the best version of ourselves is already within us. It is not something outside of us to achieve. It is something inside of us to uncover and to do our work to allow the best parts of ourselves to shine through. So yeah, I want to leave you with just a couple of tips to help you become more of a soft landing spot for yourself. And they are not, to me, I guess they seem very simple, but sometimes we need to hear the simplest things. And I can tell you these things work because they work for me. And one is to slow down and allow yourself to sit with whatever the emotion is. And frequently we are told you have to feel your feelings, or feel your emotions and things like that. But honestly, you have to allow the body to be the site of the feelings, and to recognize where the feelings are happening, where the sensations are coming from, and interrogate them. So allowing your space to sit with it allows you to also interrogate it. And you don't have to do it in a very violent way, but in a gentle way. Ask yourself, what's bothering you? Why do you think you're reacting this way? And you can just sit with yourself quietly, answer the questions in your head. You can write them down. You can write yourself a letter. You can speak out loud to yourself as if you're being asked inside of yourself, and then you speak your answer. Or you can ask yourself the question out loud and let the quiet voice inside of you speak. There are a lot of ways to sort of attack that, but interrogate the feelings, and then give yourself time for an answer to come through. You don't have to think of an answer. You don't have to develop an answer. But if you are quiet just for a moment, if you are still just for a moment, the answer will come up, and it will come up quickly. And it's the answer that is the simplest, and sometimes the one that scares you is the most authentic answer. Because sometimes we allow that one thing, feel like we have to blossom it into this full dialogue. But it might be simply that I am sad because I feel alone, or I feel unheard, or I feel disregarded. And whatever the simple answer is, that is usually the answer from the deepest part of yourself. And once you have some sort of response, you can give yourself space to decide what's next. And this is definitely a practice. I have been at asking myself, what do you need to be okay, for years now. And I still don't always have an answer for that. Sometimes I can. And when I can get to an answer, I'm really excited. Because I'm like, if I can get to an answer, that means I can respond and try to do the thing. But by at least asking the question, you leave space for the response. I hope that made sense. Let me know. Let me know if you're vibing with it. My hope, my sincerest hope, is that you have a soft place to land. And if you don't, that you will be able to take the steps to be your own safe space, that you can cultivate a beautiful, beautiful garden within yourself, where you can be authentically and care for yourself ardently with the best of your heart's intentions. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful week and that you take some time to sit quietly and hear the whispers of your own heart. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.